The last resource that we'll look at is worldcat.org. That is a catalog that searches across all the law library catalogs in the United States and many, many foreign catalogs. You can get to it by going to the Law School's Electronic Legal Resources quick links and clicking worldcat.org, or you can just remember worldcat.org. We can use it in the same way as the catalog to first find a book that I know exists, so Texas Real Estate Forms Manual. I'll copy that title over, paste it here, and I can see there's the 1999 edition, there's the 2011 edition. I'll click to that, and I can see all the libraries that are close to me that have this. WorldCat, and in fact any website you visit, can look at your internet connection and tell where you're located. It won't be able to tell down to the detail level of, this square foot, but definitely can see what city and state you're located in. So it knows I'm in San Antonio, Texas, and it knows that St. Mary's Law Library is the closest library with that. There are also 3 libraries in Austin with this resource. There's one library in Waco, there's one in Houston, and I can go even further away and see all the libraries that have this. So this is great because if I know there's a book that I absolutely want, and having that book will save me time because I'll have just a nice tight summary, won't have to reinvent the wheel, then I can check, well, can I get that in a quarter mile from where I'm located? Will I have to drive to Austin? The next thing I can do is use this to find all the books about a topic. And we'll do, in this case, immigration law in the United States, because this has a lot of catalogs all over the world. So that'll get rid of ones that are maybe from England talking about immigration. And when I search immigration law in the United States, I can see, okay, here is a book that is about that topic. It's not a book that I want to read. It's not a book that's of any use to me because it's from 1907, but it is about immigration. And so I'll just come down, find my subject heading, immigration law in the United States. Subject headings are decided by all the libraries together as a group, and they take it and look at that book, and even if it doesn't use any of those words, if it's about that topic, it'll get assigned to that. So I know all these are right on. And I'm first going to look and see, okay, I'm in my office. I don't want to go to the library. So how can I find just electronic material that I can look at right now? If you go over on the left-hand side, you can see that you can limit it by what format it's in. I see ebook is here, and it knocked my search results down to just ebooks. I could also look by year, by author, by language. I'm going to come over here and look. Well, ebook is not the only format that's electronic. These formats were assigned starting back even in the 80s, 90s, so actually there are a lot of formats for electronic material. And I'm going to have to find those and click them. I have ebook, e-journal, downloadable archival material, downloadable article, computer file, and website. And then 1998, that's a little dated. I can sort by newest first. And I have here a lot of options. When I look through these, I can click over, and in this case, I've got a link to the item, to this book. It's in EBSCOhost or on eBrary, and both of those are paid sites. I see, well, I could go into the Sarita Kennedy East Law Library and I could read it there on a computer, but I don't want to do that. I'm in my office. You cannot, with WorldCat, sort out what is open access versus what is paid. But website generally will be open access, so we'll go back to just looking at websites to see, can I get something that's a good overview that I can read right now in my office. And when I go down to websites, I've got about 27 sites. I'll come over and look. Court Practice Manual. Oh, the Adjudicator's Field Manual. By USCIS. This is actually the manual that is given to the employees at USCIS who look at immigration claims and have a hearing on the immigration status of people. And when I click over to that, it's a broken link. But I can get to it by browsing the website. And so now I've got a good quality overview for the judges who are looking at immigration status decisions. This is what they use. They apply rubrics and rules from this to the paperwork and then make a decision. So anything that I want to find for an immigration hearing, I can find exactly what the judge will be looking at. And come back over and see, okay, that's a good overview. And I also have a court practice manual. I have a link to the agency's website. Oh. And out of the three, the second one was working. And so I can go and look at the manual used, manuals used by people who are just deciding actually, what happens in a case. So just by quickly going to WorldCat and finding anything about immigration, limiting to that subject, and then going to websites, I found a lot of good government overview pretty quickly. You can do that with just about any topic.